Hello Buddy Fighters, Buddy Jacoby here. Just want to say a few things before I get into this deck profile. First off, really sorry for taking this long to do one. Second off, I haven't been uploading much. I have done 2 collabs with 2 other Buddyfight YouTubers. Really just trying to help out others and, just getting people together in the community. It's been pretty awesome. I did 2 discussion videos, one with Cobalt and CobaltClaw, sorry, my bad. And also with TCG Buzz, so I'll leave a link in the description below to their channels. You guys check out their content. Tell them Buddy Jacoby sent you or whatever. Show them some love, and let's just get straight into the deck profile. So, I only have 1 copy of Thunder Emperor Battlebots here. It's a little bit of a budget and mix of other stuff, but I'm basically just going to be going through every single card, explaining why it's there, etc. So we've got the life counter for Thunder Emperor's Fangs for the trial deck. I don't have the Mirage or Secret Pack. Duelist is coming, but yeah, I'm perfectly fine with the flag. And here is the Buddy Rare, which we're going to be using Overturn Arc Dragon Battlebots, which is from the trial deck. So, first off, 1 copy, only because I have that 1 copy that I somehow pulled, Thunder Emperor Dragon Battlebots. I'm pretty sure you guys already know why this is in here. Extra attacks, crazy 13,000 power to just take down whatever walls or whatever is in your way. Plus you can gain critical +1, and his overturn just stand everything is insane. So, gotta have him in the deck. We've got 4 copies of Overturn Arc Dragon Battlebots. So his overturn's slightly not as powerful, but it still does the job. So 4 copies of him right there, 1 fell over. 1 gauge, you stand itself and another Thunder Empire on your field. So basically another card on your field, and also has the signature, during this turn cannot be destroyed, and it's only 1 gauge, plus 1 gauge from overturn, so it's only 2 gauge, so it's a gauge less than Battlebots in total for the call cost and for overturn, and decent enough power, 7k, which is good enough to take down most walls and stuff. So 4 copies of that, because we need that overturn. 1 Golden Thunder Emperor Battlebots. So I run 3 bots X agains, just for another attack for bots, or in case he gets rested. This card is absolutely just incredible in some situations, just because you can get that 4 crit, bots X again, you can stand. As long as you can get your opponent down to 4-2 life, you can get off one of the impacts that I use in this deck, which I use Lance and the one from the trial deck, which I'll explain later. But basically, he has a signature, can't be destroyed, 9k power is really nice. 2 gauge is a little bit pricey, but his overturn I still would use in some situations, just because if your opponent has like center open, you can swing for 4, swing for 4 again, and then bots again, swing for 4 again, your size 1, your items, and then lance whatever you do. So he's really just there, and it's a really cool looking card. So 1 copy of that. Moving on to size 2s. I have 2 Thunderstar Lightning. It's gauge, first turn, you can call it, set up your field, get like 3 gauge right off the bat, plus you have a 1 soul protector on your field, so that's why he's there, plus move as well. So 2 copies of Thunderstar Lightning from the trial deck for that gauge. 1 Violent Thunder Armor Knight Gazer. I kind of put him in just to get more worlds into the deck, but he's sometimes useful in some situations. So you can put another monster from your field in this card's soul, only he's 1 gauge to cult, 6/6 with move and soul guard. So, when an item on your opponent's... Sorry, 6/2/6, my bad. When an item on your field attacks, choose a card on your opponent's field. You may put a soul from this card and drops on. If you do, destroy the chosen card. So, it's card destruction, which is really nice. I do not know why I keep saying my bad throughout so many times this video. Anyways, we've got size 1s now. Tactician Crone. All Thunder Empire on your field, critical +1. Simple. Bots gains with double attack, gains critical +1. Itself gains critical +1. Your item does. Your size 0s just... It's a crit +1 to your entire field, which is crazy. We've got this guy right here, Connect Ninja Tomoshin. Sorry. Wish he had the skill for ninjas as well. Unfortunately, its effect is when another monster enters your field, like top 3 cards of your deck, put in 1 Thunder Empire from among them into your hands. So you need spell, item, impact, anything basically that has Thunder Empire in its attribute, which you have to be using. So don't think you can be running Blue Dragon Shield or Green Dragon Shield in this. Okay. But it's great. It's basically a Dalberg Scout 3, which is absolutely amazing for the deck. If I could buy more copies or find them somewhere, I'd trade for them, but he's a great card, and he's also, not Dragon World, so at least you have some diversity. You've got Violent Thunder Armor Knight Eagle. This card, stats aren't the greatest, but it's a size 1. Item on your field attacks, you get to use one of the following 2. You get double attack, or you can remove soul. So this card is great also because, what is it? Yeah, if your item attacks twice, you can use it twice as well, because it's not once per turn. So this card is just really nice. Plus, again, multi-world again, Danger World. Pentar. He's just here. You call, you draw. Very simple. 1 copy of him. He's kind of just there. Maybe I'll switch him out for something later. We've got Operative Seer. Now, this is the reason why I had a lot of different size 2s and size 1s with different worlds. Mostly for this guy, but usually with your 7 hand, you get quite a good amount of diversity. So, Operative Spear, this card is just so good. So, 4/1/1, not the greatest stats, but when he enters the field, you gauge and gain a life. Then, if you have 2 or more different worlds of cards on your field, draw a card. So, that can include himself as well. So, let's say my favorite combo for Thunder Emperor's Fangs. You call him, then you call Operative Saphir. So, you gauge, gain a life, draw a card. Then, you get to scout top 3 and put one of them into your hand. So, you gain 2 cards, a gauge, and a life just from playing these 2 cards, which is absolutely insane. On top of your already 7 or 8 card hand from going first to second you already have, which is crazy. So, got also Misfiring Demon Globs. Really lucky to pull this guy. Absolutely love him. Another Thunder Empire monster enters the field, gauge and draw. Very simple. Your opponent has to deal with it, or they're just constantly giving you gauge and draw. Can also reduce the call cost of your battle bots as well, because you're gaining back that gauge. And also when it attacks, you can give crit +1. So, for example, if I have Thunder Emperor bots right here, let's say my opponent has an open center, I can use Overturn, give him critical for 4, swing with Globs, give a crit to Bomba, so now he's got 5 crit, attack for 5, stand, double attack, stand for 5, sorry, attack for 5, so that's 10, and then you bot X again or whatever to get even more critical. Just really nice combos, and Globs is just a great card, so I've only got one of him, but I definitely want to have more. I know he's a really popular card for Thunder Empire. Black Archdragon Roll Dice. This card is kind of just there, but I just absolutely love it. Again, it's multi-world as well, 6/1/1. Behind Edge. When a card in your opponent's field is destroyed, if you have 2 different world names of cards in your field, stand a Thunder Empire in your field. So either your bots is being rested, you don't have bots X again, or maybe you just want this guy with, I don't know, 4 crit to just attack again. Destroy monster in your opponent's field, stand bots, attack again. Really, really nice card. I just like it for some reason. It can be useful in some situations. So here he is. You know, it's just like a little nice budget card. He's only an uncommon, so it's nice to have him. Double rare. Thunder Bones Spark Gallus. Now, by the way, I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the video, but basically, Koro leaked a ton of cards from Rainbow Striker, so I'm waiting for images, but I'll do a news video for that. Again, you can check out the cards yourself while you're waiting, but this card, it is so useful against just wall decks. Basically, pay 1 life to call him, Shadow Dive, this card can attack your opponent if there's a monster on your center, on the center. When this card enters the field, you put all signs 3 or less from your opponent's field to separate areas on their field. So, pretend Thunder Emperor's Fang right here is the Thora on the center. You call this card for 1 life, and you move the Thora to the left or right. So your opponent's center is now open, and you don't have to attack it. Unfortunately, Rainbow Striker has given Prism some crazy stuff, which has now stopped them from being able to move and stuff. But anyways, that's a video for another time. Finally, last 2 size 1s. We've got Electric Paddle from the trial deck, Hero World, more different variety of worlds, and you can get up to 7,000 power with move, which is 2 really nice abilities. Like 7k is usually enough to take down a lot of stuff, walls and stuff like that. Bots SD, he's really just there. Like if you can get bots in your drop zone in your hand, call him, bring bots back with a crit. Again, pair it up with this guy, you can get some crazy crit and just swing for days. But yeah, access a drop zone to call your bots, and also you can use bots X again on him too if you really, really need it. So, 1 copy of bots SD. Now, size 0s, really quick. Only 2 size 0s I run. I only run 3 because, again, you have your 7 starting hand and usually able to get them quite a lot. So we got Black Dragon Nam right here. Not the greatest stats, 1/1/1. At the end of the battle of this card, you have 2 different world names cards you field. Choose up to 1 Thunder Empire monster in your drop zone and destroy this card. If you do, gauge and put the chosen card into your hand. So, even though it is a monster, I believe before, when like the English translation went out, it was just Thunder Empire Common, but the fact that you can get, like, basically this is really great with River Pain, because for those who don't know what River Pain does, I don't have the card though, it's a double attacker with 2 crit, enters to destroy a monster in your opponent's field, 1 gauge, and you can destroy another Thunder Empire in your field. If you do, you get to call Thunder Empire from your hand. So pretend this is River Pain for a second. You can attack with this, destroy him, add Thunder Emperor Battle Boss to your drop zone into your hand, then you gauge, then you destroy him using River Pain's ability, and call Battle Boss on top, and you just get even more attacks. So, again, this card's still great in this deck just because you get that Gauge Excel, and you can also set up for next turn, so it's a really great card. I absolutely love it. And then, 2 copies of the trial deck, Divine Saint Sword, Saint Holy Sword Dragon. I haven't bought any more packs for Overturn Thunder Emperor yet. I'm not too sure if you guys still want to see that, but I haven't been spending too much yet. I'm still just going to wait until when more stuff comes out, but again, it's pretty simple. Size 0 Boomerang Dragon for Thunder Empire, and you know, it's Saint Holy Sword Dragon, channel icon. I have to include it. 2 copies of it in that forward version is just awesome. So 2 copies of that. That's it for size 0s. Moving on to spells. Defense spells. Pay 1 life. Sorry, Demon Slay, Battle Aura, Bind. Great, now how many times have I said sorry? Okay, 1 life. Rest the card in your opponent's field with critical less than or equal to the critical of an item on your field. This card is sometimes a savior. Now, the items I run are the trial deck items because I don't really have anything better and I didn't really bother to buy any more packs, as I just said, to get something like the double attacking Dragcross. Anyways, basically, you can rest a monster on your opponent's field critical less than or equal to, so my items all have critical of 2. And basically, you can rest anything. So let's say your opponent calls Ballbots with only 1 crit. Pay 1 life, rest Ballbots, so that can be really useful in some situations. Double attackers, triple attackers, quadruple attackers, even though you're probably not going to see that. This card, just resting, is something you need in the meta to protect yourself. Unfortunately, it has to be less than or equal to, so that's sometimes going to be a problem. For example, they bring up Ballbots with 3 crit, you can't rest him, but basically, you should be good most of the time, and it's really useful, so 2 copies of that. It's also multi-world as well. 2 copies of Art Dragon Shield. Simple, you guys have seen it so many times. 1 gauge, you nullify attack, draw a card. It's just a great card for Thunder Empire. It is 1 gauge, you might be gauge shy sometimes, and I only have 2 copies, so that's all I'm running. To bring it on from the trial deck. Again, multi-world. You only cast a card, you're being attacked, nullify attack, gain a life. Simple. And 1 foil copy of Thunder Emperor Dragon Shield, because that's all I have, and Thunder Emperor item equipped, you nullify it, you gauge 1. Really simple, really nice. This is kind of like your Blue Dragon Shield for Thunder Fang. Okay, other spells. 4 copies of offerings for the Thunder Empire. This card is just, it's not once per turn, so you can just spam the heck out of it if you want. You only cast this card with like Thunder Emperor's Fangs. Choosing one of the following 2, you gauge 3 or you gain 3 life. This card can sometimes be your savior. Like, I have had times where I've gotten like 2 or 3 in hand, which can sometimes be annoying, but the gauge 3 is sometimes really helpful, especially like, because you only start with 1 gauge and you're trying to set up, or you can gain 3 life. Maybe you're going up against Thunderfang or Chaos and you just want to spam life. Make sure you've got the shields and defense ready to survive for next turn, so this is definitely a great card. Just like 4 of this card, you just need it in every deck, really. Maybe 3 if you are getting too much for it, you don't like it, but this card is just a generic common card. It's easy to get. It's just great for the deck. So 4 copies of that right there. Then we've got Spotsies again. Again, you can only use 1 of them from the previous spell. You can only use either gauge 3 or gain 3 life. So, we've got 3 Bots again. A common card from Chaos Control Crisis. It's amazing. You stand your bots, attack again. Bot gets rested, stand him. Need another attack, stand him. Impact, finish off your opponent. It's just a great card. Run this card even if you don't like it. 2 or 3 works, really. Just run the card. It's good. 3 of that. Okay, trial deck. I like this card for a few reasons, just because it's like emergency gauge, but can also be really clutch sometimes when you're down to 4 life. So we got Nice Thunder right here. Choosing to use one of the following 2. You either gauge 2, which can be pretty useful sometimes, and if you have 4 life, or you have 4 life or less, draw 2. So it's either draw 2 or gauge 2. This can be really helpful sometimes if maybe you burned out your hand too fast or all into defense. Bring this out when you have 4 life or less, draw 2. It's just a really, really nice spell. I like it for some reason, so I run 3 of it from the trial deck. 1, Black Sandcastle. I was hearing people weren't running this card, and I was kind of questioning it why. I know I have a good amount of defense cards, but this card, my goodness. Black Sandcastle set. This card remains in the field. All Thunder Empire on your field cannot be returned to hand by your opponent's card effects. So, with Bots' signature ability, his current field cannot be destroyed, so you can't return Bots to hand, and you can't destroy him either. So, you basically have to just stop him from standing, which can sometimes make Bots pretty scary. Counter, act during your opponent's turn. If you have 2 or different world names of cards on your field, you have this card into your drop zone. If you do, next time damage would be dealt to you, just reduced by 3. So it's reduced damage and pretty much seals up a good amount of weaknesses for Bots. So if I had more copies, I would run more. Like, you're not going to be running like 4 of this, but it's still a good card, and I like it. It's defense. It helps sometimes with Bots, so 1 copy of that. 1 copy of In the Name of Thunder Empire. This card, I don't know why. I love it. 2 life, it can bring you down to life for your, for your life effects. For example, Thunder Emperor Ballbots. If you have 4 life less, gains critical +1. A lot of the cards now for Thunderfang aren't life limited, which is scary, but this card is still good to me, in my opinion, because you can choose 2 Thunder Empires from your drop zone, call them on separate areas by paying their call cost. So you can bring bots, you can bring back your size 0s, your size 1s, whatever you need from your drop zone, whether they're in your gauge or whether you charged them before or whatever. So it's really nice just for their, like, if you want to get something back next turn. For example, you call globs, and you need him back, pay 2 life, bring back globs, and you get your gauge or whatever back. So, and also, as I said before, you can do the combo with Tomoshin and Saphir if they're both in your drop zone. So, I like this card. I run 1 copy of it, because that's all I have. Moving on to items. Trial deck items, don't judge me, this is all I have, and it works for me. So, I've got Thunder Emperor Sword Draggler right here. 2000 power, critical 2, not the greatest stats, but its ability at beginning of your attack phase, you have 2 different will names in your field. For this turn, a monster in your field gets critical +1. So again, pairing this up with double attack, pairing it up with bots. Like, you can get, I know it's ball bots, but you can still get some crazy combos, crazy crit. Bot 6 again, spam it. It's just, I don't know why. I just like the card, so 3 of it. I realized that with such a small deck size, like, I don't remember how many cards are in my deck, but it's pretty small. And again, starting out with that 7-hand card, 7-hand card, 7-card hand, you only need really like 5 or 6 items, maybe like 3-2 or 4-1, and then Attract if I had it, Thunder X Attract. But anyways, I've got 2 of the Danger World as well. 5-2. 1 gauge, 1 life to equip. When it attacks with this turn, a monster or item on your field gets penetrated. So you can give it self-penetrate, you can give bots penetrate. It's really great against walls. For example, let's say you're up against, let me think, for example, Prisms. I don't know if Prisms are still out there, but basically penetrate is just really great against wall decks, so they have to deal with that or somehow respond to this item, or they're just big trouble. So it's really nice. I like the penetrate, 2 of it right there. Finally, onto impacts. 2 Turbulent Thunder Fist, Blowout X Tempest Shatter. Sometimes that 2 damage can actually be pretty useful. You only cast a card if you have 2 more Thunder Empire in your field. 2 gauge, destroy all monsters in your opponent's field, deal 2 damage to your opponent. So not only is it control, because it's destroying your opponent's monsters, but it also allows you to deal 2 damage. Again, having the 2 Thunder Empire in your field, sometimes that can't happen if you get unlucky or for whatever the reason. But you should be able to get it out most of the time. So if your opponent still somehow has 2 life, bring this out, destroy all monsters, deal 2 damage. Very simple card. It's 2 gauge, it's a little bit cheap, so I like that about it. And finally, Thunderlance X Tempest Buster. Surprisingly, from the combos from this deck, you can actually get enough gauge for this pretty easily. Like, there really isn't gauge problems for Thunder Empire, so this card, I only have 2 of it, but I absolutely, like, you can't deny how good this card is. Like, you only cast this card for your opponent's 5 life or less. Cards have attacked 3 or more times during this turn, and either you nor your opponent has a monster in the center. Link attacks count as 1 attack. You pay 3 gauge, you deal 5 damage to your opponent. They can't be revived, damage can't be reduced, this card can't be nullified, and if your opponent's life will become 0 by this card, can't be changed. So, Thunderlance X Tempest Buster. Your opponent's still alive, well, Thunderlance for the win. That's all there is. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry for this video being so long. If you guys do want to see shorter deck profiles or maybe something else, but I do like going through all the combos, and hopefully that helps you guys out. Jeez, I can't speak today. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you do want to see anything specific, tell me. News, again, will be covered later on this week when images come out. Check out all other buddy YouTubers.